Hey, my name is Dawson, and today I'm going to show you how I transform my hallway using some peel and stick tiles and a leftover can of paint. Just in case you're new here, I'm renovating my 1970s fixer-upper all by myself, and you definitely don't want to miss any updates, so make sure you subscribe because I have a lot of really big projects coming up in the next few weeks. Okay, so back to the hallway. About a year ago, I was pretty bored and it was late at night, and I had just got this crazy idea pop into my head that I should paint a mural on my hallway with some leftover paint. So let's go back in time and I'll show you how I did it and how it turned out. I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm doing a little brainstorm in my hallway and look at this. How fun would it be to paint on some kind of big, bold patterns in here? I don't know, I feel like just two subtle colors would be really cool, and maybe this even like cuts through the door and that's part of the color. I understand it does look a little crazy, but think of it when you're in the kitchen, you could kind of see those shapes coming through, and it plays off of the backsplash, which plays off of the big arch. I don't know, I feel like it could be fun. I really just was making this up as I went, but I used my laser level on a little tripod to help me get the horizontal and vertical lines completely straight for the design, and then I wanted everything to have rounded corners, so I actually ended up just using a bucket and tracing that with my pencil to get those rounded corners perfect and uniform on each part of the design. The hardest part of the project for me was painting the corners because I wasn't able to use that green tape because it was rounded, so I ended up just having to do it by hand. I went super slow and just took my time with it. I think it ended up looking pretty good, but if you have any tips on painting corners like this, drop them in the comments so we can all learn from you. I'm honestly looking back laughing at this because I started this project because I had a leftover gallon of paint and I thought this would be just a quick, easy project to do in the hallway. Well, it actually ended up taking quite a bit of time and I didn't have enough paint, so I had to go to the store and buy more paint to finish the hallway. But honestly, I really like doing painting projects, so it's honestly pretty fun for me. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably heard this before, but I like to rate all of my mistakes out of a scale of 1 to 10 mozzarella sticks, and that's the number of mozzarella sticks I would need to eat in order to feel better about the mistake that I just made. And this project was no exception. I definitely made probably the biggest mistake I've ever made. I went to bring in some white paint to do touch-ups on areas around the design, and I dropped the can of paint literally everywhere in that hallway. This paint just kept spreading, and it took me literally, I think I have a 20-minute video of me cleaning this up. It was the most stressful 20 minutes of my life, and I ended up having to use the steam cleaner to get some of it off. Thank goodness for LVP flooring, because if I had carpet, that would have been horrible. So I'm gonna go ahead and rate this at least a 99 out of 10 mozzarella sticks to make this feel better. After doing this first section of the mural, I just left everything as it was for a week or so, just to kind of make sure that I liked what I was doing, and then I moved on to trying to figure out the design for the rest of the hallway. Probably 8 times to get everything figured out, but I finally nailed down the design for this corner. The middle portion will be painted the color, and it took a lot of work because I wanted to make sure I avoided anything to do with this cabinet. Now, one embarrassing thing, the doorway that I put into the garage when I moved in here, honestly, it's just the foam has been sticking out of it like this since, I don't know, I think it was like 8 months. So that was literally so embarrassing. I even painted over the foam. So I broke down, I got my little multi-tool out and I cut off all that foam, and then I put back the trim on this doorway, finished it off, touched up the paint where it needed to be, and it just looks so much better. This is one of those projects that was so easy to do. I don't know why I didn't do it sooner, because it was just so embarrassing every time someone came over to the house. It's a nightmare to take tile floors out, and I don't have the time or the budget to kind of work on all those big floor projects I want to do right now. So I want to do something to kind of make them look better in the meantime though, because as you can see, they're just in really, really bad shape. They are not even like fitting wall to wall, and there's a lot of spots where the tile is just completely worn through. I don't even know how that happens. So I found these peel and stick tiles. They're really cheap. It's like $10 for a box. And I ended up getting 7 or 8 boxes. So the whole hallway will be $70 to $80 if it works out well. They are just a peel and stick. So all you have to do is make sure you clean the floors really well and then just stick them down onto the ground, or at least that's what it sounds like in theory. So let's give it a shot. I did a little math to kind of figure out where I want to start the pattern, and I'm going to actually start it right here in the front of the hallway and then work my way to the front door. They're really easy to cut. I practiced cutting one with a tin snip and they cut just like paper, honestly. So this shouldn't be too bad. Let's give it a shot. All right, first one, here we go. Actually cut a tile in half because I liked the pattern better when it started on a half. I'm just going to put it as close to the end as possible and figure out the transition later. Ooh, that was easy. Yeah, it's pretty stuck on there, y'all. Perfect. It's super, super sticky. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Fun! One thing to note though, I specifically planned the design so that the edges of my tile are not in the grout lines, because the grout lines kind of dip down and it's hard to get a good seam with peel and stick tile if the ground beneath it is not super flat. So I've decided that the design is going to be kind of like this, where the tile grout is going through the middle of the tiles, or the peel and stick tiles, so that it's a little bit stronger in all the corners where the different peel and stick tiles will meet. I apparently pulled an all-nighter. Wasn't planning on that, but I just finished the floors and it is 6:30 a.m. Doing great. Doing great. It's been a couple months since I put the peel and stick floor down, and I just want to show you how that's holding up. I'll also show you one other big change I made in the hallway since then, and then I'll tell you what's coming next because this is all pretty much about to change. My house used to have popcorn ceilings, but I actually just got that removed. So now the ceilings just have like a super fine texture on them, but honestly from far away, you can't really tell that there's any texture on there. I got it removed from the entire house, so it feels so much better in here, and it just makes the whole house feel a lot newer. So I love that change. And the tiles are holding up pretty well too after a few months. They're not peeling up or anything like that. They're definitely not perfect. I mean, they are like $60 or something. There's a few spots that are kind of hard to clean, but this was a really good, cheap interim before I get my real floors someday, which I'll tell you about right now. So in a few weeks, I'm actually gonna start ripping out all of the floors in my entire house and putting down one coherent floor that goes across all the rooms in the house. So I'm really excited about that, but that means I will be removing these floors eventually. This has been a super fun, in the middle kind of temporary solution, and it was literally only $60 for the floor, so that was easy. The paint was also super cheap and a fun way to kind of enter people into the house. But eventually, when I put the new floors in, I'll probably paint the walls and probably do an accent wall on this one with the picture frames. I have some plans for that, but not like a solid plan yet. But that's the update. Thanks for watching my little budget makeover of my hallway. And if you like these videos and more DIY stuff, make sure to subscribe to my channel and check out more videos on my page. We'll see you soon.